Hello YouTube, this is Yindoxy, and I actually have a script this time, so I know what I'm going to say before I say it, and it's not randomly saying stuff. Paradoxically, this should make the videos a little bit more interesting than they were in the past. I'm sorry for the delay of the videos, but I'm in college now, and I find that I don't have as much free time as I thought I would have. Currently, I'm here to comment on my previous deck analysis videos where I basically had my friends talk about the decks that they were playing without really giving any in-depth analysis, at least visually, and I hope to do that today through explaining my friend Jinzo's Egg-Meg deck. This deck idea was brought up on sixprizes.com a while ago, and someone in my locals back home had played a version of it during our Switch tournament. The first thing to know about the Egg-Meg deck is that it looks like it will not work at all, but in practice, it does. The main attacker in this deck is Meganium Prime, which most people stated upon release that it has a good power but a weak attack. While this is true, you must look at the HP of this Pokemon. With 150 HP, Meganium Prime is tough to take down, making it a great tank. Though 4 energies for 80 seems weak, and in truth it is, the secret to making this work is keeping it alive long enough to make its attack worthwhile, which brings us to the second card, Blissey Prime. Blissey Prime is an amazing card, able to be teched into a multitude of decks such as Gyarados and Steelix Prime. Its Pokepower is good, being able to completely recover a high HP Pokemon, with its only drawback being that you have to discard all of the energy attached to that Pokemon. Now, you may be asking, how is this ability viable for a high energy attacker? You're going to lose all the energy you worked so hard for. To answer that, I bring you back to Meganium Prime. Meganium Prime's ability Leaf Trans allows you to, as often as you like per turn, move a grass energy attached to one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. Why is this important to the strategy? This allows you to move the energy from your injured Meganium to your undamaged bench Pokemon, evolve to Blissey Prime, remove the damage, move back the energies, and have a fully healed Meganium active and swinging hard. In order for this to work, you are going to need the help of trainers or other techs to keep the barrage of healing continuous. One possible and almost necessary tech is Super Scoop Up. Yes, I know it's flippy, but if you're running a 3-3 line of Blissey Prime, with a 50% success rate, you are able to completely heal your Meganium Prime 5 times. Other options are playing Tangrowth level X to also heal your Pokemon. Also, with a retreat cost of 2, you need a way to retreat your Meganium in the instance you don't get a Blissey Prime when needed, so you can either throw in Warp Energies, Warp Points, Switches, or a Flygon line for its Pokebody Rainbow Float, giving every grass Pokemon a free retreat cost. You're also going to need some draw power, so supporters such as Team Rocket's Trickery, Professor Oak's Visit, or Copycat can help, or Pokemon such as Uxie, Uxie level X, Unknown R, Chatot MD, and Unknown Question Mark. But the last one depends on how many different techs of different types of Pokemon you are running. However, with the new format rolling in, we see an increase of Spiritomb, Vileplume Undaunted, Fire types in general, but specifically Blaziken FB, and Dialga level X being played. This deck has a bit of trouble going through any of the popular meta decks, as Vileplume and Spiritomb lock your Super Scoop Ups and Rare Candies if you decide to run them. Blaziken has advantage with your weakness, and Dialga level X will lock your Flygon and Tangrowth Pokebodies. Spiritomb can be used as a starter to slow down SP decks and speed up your evolution process, and you can sacrifice it to start attacking, but you then lose the ability of healing due to the dreaded Power Spray. To counter Blaziken FB and other fire types, you could tech in Exploud from Supreme Victors to cancel the weakness with its Pokebody. Harder to counter are the Vileplume and Spiritomb, but you may be able to make it through by playing their game and using Spiritomb yourself and possibly teching in, though somewhat ironically, Blaziken FB level X or Luxray GL level X, though if possible you can get Uxie level X with the DCE and Zenblade for the OHKO of Vileplume Undaunted. Overall, this deck is a great rogue deck and really fun to play with and against, but it really doesn't do too well in the metagame. However, decks that are not SP, Vileplume, or Spiritomb tend to be caught by surprise and lose to a deck that looks like an amateur but plays like a pro. So, I hope you like the deck, and I hope it gets you thinking about combinations of unlikely cards, and maybe we can find a way to suppress SP decks once and for all before the rotation occurs. This is Yindoxy saying, laters YouTube, until my next video, which could come out at any time. Today's Team Poke Breeder episode is brought to you by Piplup. Remember, it's a penguin.